right, begin broadcast. Very special interview. It's working. Okay, here we go.
We live.
I'm going to copy the link and share it a few places real quick.
Yeah, I will also.
Yeah, let me send it to you, Kasuke.
We are live.
This is the first ever, maybe second ever in-person interview because I feel like I kind of did this with Emily a couple of times. But regardless, this is the first one tagged as an interview episode. I'm going to sit here and interview my fucking homie Kasuke.
It is a pleasure to be here.
We are live. Kasuke the Reaper.
Twitter moment.
Interview. Alright. On the Twitter. What's up, y'all? Some of y'all coming in here now. Shane, what's up? Booty Pins, EC Jug. Joe, what's up, Joe?
What's up,
Can't
Joe?
Spells.
What's up, EC
Vincent
Jug?
Vega. What's up, everybody?
Love you all.
Putting the shit on Instagram, too.
Yeah.
We live.
You did smoke a blunt with this guy. Shout out hooligans.
Shouts out hooligans. Shouts out to anybody who smoked a blunt with me at the gathering.
Facts.
Shouts out to anybody who gave me weed at the gathering. That shit's lit. Remember you were busting my balls because I was like, man, sometimes these joints they're like packed too tight and shit. And you're like, oh, boo-hoo, the free joints packed too tight. I'm like, you got me. You got me there. All right. I'll put it on Facebook too, yeah. We live. All right. There's in a couple of different places. And we'll just get started with this little interview. All right, folks? Shouts out to anybody who tuned in to my Twitch earlier today. I watched a bunch of Gathering of the Juggalos videos earlier. 3.5 hours worth. I'm going to upload that for the Alienated so you can watch that stream if you missed it. Because I realized you can download Twitch streams if you're a creator. That they save them for like fucking 30 days or 2 months or something before they delete them. So I'm going to start doing that. JPC, Jesus Christ, how long till we see you in GCW, Kasuke?
Maybe one day, hopefully. Hopefully. It's a dream.
I mean, you can see him in the crowd. You can see him in the crowd at various GCW shows, that's for sure.
Many events I am there.
All right. Yeah, let's jump into the interview.
Hell yeah.
Got lyrics for a Kasuke song and a Kasuke interview note thing here. All right, so first of all, let's start it off with what's your name and what's your gimmick? Kasuke.
Kasuke, a.k.a. Young Terry Funk, with the bumps in the trunk, as Bobby Blaze likes to say. My gimmick is just bringing that fucking wicked funk, ultra-violent shit. I've been doing that shit for almost, oh my god, since I was about 13 now, so almost fucking 10 years at this point. But I'm still a youngin', so I'm going to be bringing it for many more years to come. So that's my gimmick. And also, loving Steven is my
Since
gimmick.
Steven loving on you, apparently. Hey, shouts out to Odious. What's up, Odious?
Hey.
Molly Gruesome, whoop whoop. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Much love y'all.
What's your wrestling Mount Rushmore? Shouts out to Whoop Conda for this question.
Damn.
I believe this is Whoop Conda's. So
I think he asked me this at the gathering.
4 wrestlers who would be on your wrestling Mount Rushmore carved into a goddamn mountain. Your mountain, Mount Kasuke. What would be Mount Kasuke of pro wrestling?
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
Terry Funk.
Young Terry Funk. Old Terry Funk.
Fuck. Rey Mysterio.
Ray.
And
Steven. No, not Steven. You don't even take bumps, Steven.
that last one's hard. Fuck. But I'm going to have to give it to Daniel Bryan. Brian Danielson.
Damn, D-Bry. You've been on a D-Bry thing lately, too, though.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Most overrated wrestler. I just saw that in the chat.
Most
I want to
overrated
spit that real
wrestler.
quick. Shouts out to Josh for that.
Will Ospreay.
Damn, Will coming for your head, Will.
Will Ospreay.
WWF or WCW? You can only pick one. This is a spin on my Cartoon Network Nickelodeon question. This is the spin. You can only pick one.
WWF.
Yeah.
WWF.
I feel like most people are gonna say WWF.
WWF.
Controversial opinion. I might pick WCW. I
Yeah,
honestly
but you
might
grew
pick.
up in that.
I grew up in the South and
area.
yeah, it holds a special spot in my heart.
So it makes sense.
I might pick WCW, but WWF got such a larger archive to go through. There's so much more to watch.
I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry.
I hurt his feelings.
I won't go into further context, or further information on why I feel he's overrated, but I think he's overrated.
Do you remember the first time you saw wrestling or watched pro wrestling as a young child?
SmackDown versus Raw 2006 was actually my introduction.
So a video
pro
game.
Wrestling. Yeah, my homie brought it over on the PS2, and I played that shit. And I saw Rey Mysterio for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, this dude's fucking wild. He wears a mask and he like fucking does front flips and shit." And at the time, I thought wrestling was just a video game. Like, I did not think that shit was actually a real thing. I didn't think motherfuckers were actually capable of doing flips and shit. And then I saw a commercial one day for Hell in the Cell, and it was like Triple H like bleeding and shit, and I was like, what the fuck? So I convinced my mom
to order that
buy
shit?
one. Yeah, I think it was Hell in the Cell. I'm pretty sure. I just remember Triple H like bleeding, and I just remember being like, what the fuck? Like, that's what I saw on the video game. So I watched that shit. And since then, I've been fucking hooked. I was a youngin'.
So that was your first. Do you remember what the first match was you saw?
I don't remember exactly what the first match was, but it was probably whatever match was the first match on that Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. Or whatever pay-per-view it was. It might not even have been Hell in the Cell. It might have been like No Way Out, maybe, if that's what it was. I just remember, like, I don't know. I was pretty fucking small, but... Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ, you psycho.
Steven just did a ninja parkour jump across Humble's back in the distance.
God, I'm trying to get a blunt real quick. Steven fucked me up. Ow,
That's
Steven.
fire.
What a dickhead.
Steven heard
Look
Rey
at that.
Mysterio and
Look
he...
at that
Oh,
shit. Steven got me good just now. I'm
God
bleeding.
Damn. I didn't think it was that crazy.
Okay, M's gonna be home in a little bit. Jesus Christ, Steven. All right, well, I just took a bump from Steven.
Damn. He
Steven
heard
got
Rey
me
Mysterio and he went
God
fucking
damn,
nuts. He
Steven.
heard Triple H was bleeding and he fucking went crazy.
Yeah, now I just fucking started bleeding. Okay, let's continue here. If you were a Care... Shouts to Whoopkana for this question as well. If you were a Care Bear, what would be the symbol that would be on your stomach that you radiated out like a rainbow?
Probably like a fucking... Honestly, probably my little scythe logo, actually. My little, like, crossing scythe logo would be my little Care Bear thing. But if it had to be, like, anything else, it'd probably be, like, a broken light tube or some shit like that.
Like a broken in half light tube and shit?
Like a cracked open light tube.
A razor blade?
Yeah,
a box razor?
It would be a razor blade.
Be just like a broken in half razor blade, a gigged up razor.
Yeah, that shit's fire.
Let's see. Let's see. Do you remember the first time you heard music? I know that's a very obscure. Like, do you remember?
Okay. So
I know you grew up. We're gonna get into that a little bit. You grew up around a lot of music. That's why I asked this question.
I think my first ever favorite song, because I remember singing it in the car, and this is a very weird one, but it's I don't even remember what the song is, because I don't know. I feel like people are gonna get upset with me when I'm gonna give you some like lyrics, but it's the one that's like, how could this happen to me? I made my mistakes. It was that shit.
Wait
bro.
a second.
Yeah.
That's like some fucking
dude. It was like some
Nickelback or
old.
something.
No, it was like some old like emo band. I think. I don't know, but it was on the radio, and I used to sing that shit in the back of the car when my mom was driving. But I used to, instead of saying mistakes, I'd say my snakes. I made my mistakes, and I was like very young. That was like my first favorite song, I think.
That's like Emily's
So
just
shout out
got
to
a
that.
just got a house in the mail with that Cypress Hill shit.
That shit's fire.
Have you ever had a paranormal experience? By the way, shouts out to Odious, just became a member of the Alienated
Let's
during
go.
this.
What
I just
the hell?
realized that.
I still gotta do
And
that.
was spun
Damn, he got
out
there
over
before
that.
me.
Shouts out to Odious.
I think Whoop was saying something about how we're gonna have to go after him because he's not in the Alienated, but I don't even think I'm in the Alienated.
No, he's
Whoop.
not even in it.
So you're gonna have to come after me now. But
Go check out the Juggalo Ohio vlogs, Odious. Definitely go
Facts.
check those out.
Yeah, paranormal experiences. I used to like, I don't know. The closest thing I can
Song
think,
is Simple Plan by Untitled. Or Untitled by Simple Plan?
yeah. No, that's Simple. Simple Plan is the band, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. Odious must be high as hell. He fucking
He just Googled the lyrics to
Googled
that
it.
song.
But yeah, no, I don't really have any crazy paranormal experiences. I remember I used to go into like the fucking cemetery with my mom, and she'd take pictures, and like the flash would go on, and you'd see the little orbs and shit, and that would freak me out. And she'd like drive me down the fucking road and be like, "Oh, the zombies are gonna come out and get you." And I'd
So she
fucking
just
tweak.
scare you. Never saw any
I
ghosts
never
or
really
zombies.
saw anything, but I don't know. Back in the day, my Xbox would turn on sometimes at night by itself, and that would kind of freak me out.
That's
I don't really
spooky.
know. Yeah, and it would freak me out. It would make me not want to stay in my room. So I'd sleep on the couch when I was younger because my Xbox would just like randomly turn on, and I swear to God, I would.
Was it
turn
your
it off.
Xbox One or your 360?
No, it was my 360.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had to push the button for that shit. It's not like motion sensor or nothing.
Yeah.
So that would freak me the fuck out.
My Xboxes do that too. I think our Xboxes are haunted. But yeah, I asked you about the music question. I kind of jumped questions here a little bit. I asked you about the music question because I know you grew up around music. There was definitely like a lot of musicians in your family. How many people in your immediate family are musicians, like in your direct family?
My sister makes music. My dad made music. My grandpa, my cousin is a country artist. My brother used to make rap music. He's actually who like put me on to most of the rap music that I grew up on. So he used to actually like have this track recorded, and I used to like know the words to it, but I forgot them.
What's some of the first rap music he put you
on? Wu-Tang was one of the ones.
Yeah, he's big on
ones.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
Shouts out to Brian, by the way.
Yeah, he put me onto a lot of Wu-Tang, and even to this day, he still hooks me up. He'll like, send me some links to just some crazy shit, but like.
He's big on like Jedi mind tricks and shit like that. I know for sure. He was the one who
actually put me on to like 3-6 originally. Lil Wayne, he put me on to. And then I found like Eminem on my own. He was kind of like one of my first rappers I found, but he didn't really like Eminem. Like,
oh shit. Is it Whoop's birthday? Happy birthday, Whoopconda. Holy shit. Happy birthday, Whoop. I didn't realize it was your fucking
Whoop.
birthday
what the
today.
Fuck? Happy birthday.
How did I go all day not realizing that it was your birthday? My bad.
Facts. Happy birthday.
Happy fucking birthday, Whoop. Jesus.
I love you, brother. Straight up.
Yeah, it's Whoopconda day up in this bitch. Oh, Wednesday. Wednesday on Wednesday. Oh, I'm jumping the gun. We're all jumping the gun. Look, everyone's like, Wednesday.
Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, Wednesday Addams. I know Wednesday Addams. Yeah, she's great. She's wonderful. Anyway. But yeah, I know, like, I've seen pictures and like, I think shit, going back to your sister's MySpace back in the day, she used to post pictures and stories and maybe even video of y'all like doing family jams and shit. Yeah. And I know she posted it because she must have, because I can't imagine you would have. No. I'm not gonna bring it out or anything. No. But there's this picture of like a baby / toddler Kasuke behind a set of drums.
Going crazy.
Was that the first instrument you tried to play? Was the drums?
I played them. I didn't try, bro. I was a killer.
So you were the drummer for the family band, if you will.
I got good for like a while, and then I tried. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried to get back on the drums because we had them set up for that little gig we did.
Yeah.
And I hopped back on there like the next day, and I fucking sucked. I was like, but like I was pretty decent back in the day, but I suck now. Now I'm a computer drummer.
I think a little practice you would get good again. You just have to spend some time like getting the rhythms back and shit. Let's see. What are some, before we get more into music stuff, what are some non-musical influences, artistic influences on you and your art? That's wildly open-ended for a reason, because I want you to say whatever you want.
Wrestling is pretty much the biggest influence on my shit. All my shit's pretty much wrestling bars. A lot of it's wrestling inspired. A lot of it's wrestling bars. A lot of my imagery in my music. I got a lot of fucking deathmatch shit. I got a lot of mainly deathmatch wrestling is the main art form that my shit is inspired by. Outside of that, I can't really think of it.
There's some other sports references in there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of sports references in there, too.
I mean, sports. I do a lot of football bars. Mortal Kombat, actually, video games. Now that I think about it, like, deeper. Like, I'm inspired by growing up playing video games with the homies, and I have a lot of references.
Is
from
Mortal
that.
Kombat your favorite video game?
Oh yeah, all time. That and Gears of War.
Gears
of War and Mortal Kombat are my 2 favorite video games of all time. But yeah, no, just that. I mean, I got some anime fucking inspiration in there as well, but that's just not as heavy as like the sports shit. Because I definitely love me some football. I love me some fucking sports ball.
What would be 3? This is a good one I just saw in the chat. What would be 3 artists, dead or alive, that you would love to get on a song with?
Denzel Curry. Lil Peep would be fire. And honestly, getting a track produced by DJ Paul.
Yeah, Klein just said DJ Paul.
Yeah, that would be top. Or Chief Keef. Chief Keef is up there.
Yeah, you're a big Chief Keef, Mark. Is Chief Keef one of the first rappers you, I guess you could say, sought out yourself?
Shout out to Odious. Odious put me on to Chief Keef, and he kind of... Chief Keef was like one of the first rappers, because I kind of went into a phase of
not liking
fucking
rap.
with rap.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day.
I was deep in my like emo boy bag, listening to like fucking Pierce the Veil, shit like that. Shout out to Will Gates too, because I know he's on that same wave. But I kind of fell out of rap for a bit, and then like surprisingly, Chief Keef, and he was one of the ones that like brought me back into rap. I was like, this shit's crazy. Like just Chicago drill rap in general, I was just so like, that shit was so fire. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Was your first song even a rap song that you made then? Like starting out as a drummer and stuff? Did you write a song before you wrote rap songs?
Not
You don't
really.
even know?
Not really.
Not really?
No. Every time I did drumming, it was just like my dad would play some shit. So it was all covers essentially, like some old Neil
covers
Young,
and jams and
some
stuff
Neil
like that.
Young, some fucking old shit like that. But yeah, I never had anything. I used to write rap music when I was in like straight up kindergarten. Like we would start
Really
it off
early.
as poems.
Poems?
Yeah, poems.
Poems?
Started off as poems, and then I was like, just try to turn it into rap. And I actually have a very vivid memory of being in like 3rd grade and having like a rap battle with this kid, and thinking that I was like so fire.
Did you win the battle?
Oh yeah.
You smoked the kid?
Oh yeah. But I took
Good.
it seriously. I don't think he did. Like in my head, I was like, I'm a fucking battle rapper.
Hey, shouts out to Impede with the $20 super chat. Just said, hey, Kasuke.
What up, Impede?
Impede 23.
Shout out Impede.
Impede, stay watching the fucking Juggalo vlog. Shouts out to Impede though. I appreciate you, dog. So do you remember the first rap you wrote? The first rap song you wrote? Do you remember that shit?
Yes.
What was it called?
It was
I'm not gonna ask you to spit the bars or anything, unless you want to.
No, I will not spit the bars. It is deleted. It is lost media now because I don't even have it on anything. It's gone. That shit was called Fuji.
Fuji.
And that shit was bad. That shit was really bad.
Like Fuji water dripping type beat.
Kinda, yeah. It was on like a Suicide Boys type beat.
Okay.
And it was just like, it was just bad. Like it was really corny. Like it was just very corny bars. Like it was very wannabe. Like it sounded like, oh, this guy just listened to Suicide Boys. He just wants to be like, but it was like worse.
It's like a sound I like.
Like it was when I was trying to find my flow essentially. So it was like, the flow was just bad. It was just really bad. And I also recorded it on my Android phone while the beat played off my TV in the background, and I just spit the bars over that shit.
Someone's asking about your thoughts on AI music, being able to write a song in seconds.
So, that shit pisses me off, and
yeah, I don't like that either.
That's gonna take me on a little story real quick because this happened recently. There was a dude at my work. I ain't even gonna say no names.
Yeah, tell this story.
I ain't even gonna say
I'm
no
so
names.
glad that this is gonna get brought up.
I'm glad you brought it up too.
Yeah, this is dope.
I ain't even gonna say no names.
We didn't tell this on stream, right?
No,
I don't think
not.
we did.
But this dude came into my work, and he's always like shooting the shit with me. And so he came in and he was like, "Hey man, like I write music. I write like country music and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, like that's cool." And I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, "Cool." I didn't check into it. But then I found dude's TikTok, and I saw said country music, and it was like, it didn't even sound like him. Like I've talked to him in real life.
Super generic,
It
super tinny.
It sounded robot-y. I was like, what the fuck? And so I like listened to it. I'm not gonna expose, dude, but it was
basically
AI.
You think it's AI.
It was AI. It was.
He played it for me, and I'm like on the fence about it. I'm like,
it
could be. It could be AI.
But then because I was asking him questions, Humble said I should have asked him to sing the song, which was a good idea.
Because if he don't know the words and he can't even approximate the fucking melody or nothing.
But I did ask him, like, I was like, what did you record it on then? And he had like no fucking idea what he was talking
that's
about.
a big
like,
red flag.
Like, he didn't know what reverb was. He was calling reverb some weird shit. Like, he was like, and it wasn't even like his idea of reverb. Like, he just kept saying like, oh, that's just the echo effect they put on my voice. That's just the echo effect. And I'm like, the echo effect. There's not really even an echo. It's just like a straight, I don't know. It's weird. Essentially, it was AI. I'm sorry. It was AI.
I almost want to, can we play a little bit of it off your phone?
I called him out, though. I called him out, though. I straight up called him out. Because I ain't a bitch about it. I went into work. I saw him.
Yeah, you did ask him about it.
I went into work and I saw it. And I literally said, actually, I commented on his TikTok page, too. I'm evil, but I commented on his TikTok page, and I was like,
"Bro, this AI."
I was like, "Bro, this is AI." And then he didn't respond to it. He actually just like DM'd me and was like, "Hey," and I didn't respond to that. Yeah. But I was just like,
he deleted the comment probably.
That's such a good story. That shit pisses me off. Pisses me off enough to say something about it to him because it just pisses me off that bad. Like, it just annoys me.
I love that story. I'm so glad that got brought up in here. Thank you for that question. Someone asked favorite movie. Josh asked favorite movie, so let's hit that real quick.
Ooh, that's hard. That's really hard. Of all time, probably Step Brothers. Is that crazy? No, honestly, comedy, definitely Step Brothers all time. Comedy is Step Brothers, but if we're talking like, I don't know, because I grew up on the old Saw 1. I watched a lot when I was a kid. That shit used to spook me the fuck out, and my mom would get mad when I would watch it.
That torture porn.
But honestly, I've told, like, Odious has asked me this question too, and I'm not a movie guy. I'm not really a movie guy like that. So it's just hard for me to decide, because
I'm gonna sit you down and watch some movies with you. I'm gonna force you to watch movies. I did just show him Big Money Hustlers for the first time. I made him watch Big Money Hustlers.
I fucked with that. That shit made me laugh.
That shit's fucking silly.
Made me laugh.
So I was gonna ask you what made you want to make your first rap song, but I think we landed maybe on Suicide Boys with that.
Kinda.
Is there more to the story with that?
There is. There's more. I mean, what made me do it was originally I used to want to be in a band, and me and Odious used to always talk about like doing a band.
Yeah.
We'd always be like, we're gonna meet up one day and we're gonna fucking make like a metal band and we're gonna go crazy. And we had a bunch of ideas. But then like once I found, because I was like, I didn't think of rapping honestly until I found like Bones. I found Bones and I was like, wait a second, you can kind of do like the metal shit or like the more sad, depressing, like, oh, you know, gloomy fucking wicked shit. You can do that.
And you rap about whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, can do that. Because like for a while, one of the reasons I kind of fell out of rap was I was like, oh, I just don't relate to a lot of this shit. Like,
yeah, it was big for me when I discovered the wicked shit. Yeah. Like, oh, you can rap about whatever you want,
and that's kind of what hit me. And I was like, whoa, like this shit's crazy. Like I can fucking rap how I want to rap and yell and fucking do what I want to do. So that's what made me be like, damn, I can really rap. But back in the day, I used to want to be in a band, essentially.
Yeah, same here, bro. I've said it many times that I wanted to start
a
band,
no one around,
just couldn't afford it.
And no one around here would do that.
I mean,
shit.
No one plays instruments.
No one plays instruments.
Even when I was coming up, people were like not playing instruments like that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so we like. Flash forward fucking 10 years later when you're coming up and like, yeah, even less people are playing instruments like that. I still want to be in a band, sad face, Odious says. Fuck. Kasuke can play drums. We got a drummer. That's the hardest part. It seems in my experience of trying to put bands together, getting a drummer was always the hardest part.
Throw some guitars down. I know.
I mean, we could do digital drums.
Molly said organizing multiple people is hard.
Exactly, Molly.
It's so much harder to get all these fucking people together in one room for like 2 hours to learn
just to practice. Just to practice.
When I can just sit in my own fucking room and do that shit on my own and
make a whole song.
Yeah,
in the same amount of time.
I can make a whole album in my own fucking. You don't even have to. Oh, you gotta write this riff, guitarist, and then the guitarist doesn't want to fucking write what you want. Like you have full control of your creativity, and that's what I love about rap.
Yeah, maybe we should watch Wrestlers tonight. That's not a bad idea. We might should watch Wrestlers tonight.
Am I signed to a label? No. Do I want to?
Humble Among
No.
Records. I'm taking a hefty cut. No, we're all independent over here. I put Humble Among on all my releases. I think you just put Kasuke on your releases.
I put Do the Death.
Put Do the Death on all your releases.
Yeah.
He signed to Do the Death.
Do
then.
the Death Records.
Do the Death Records. What's your first rap name? Was it always Kasuke? Young Terry Funk? Holy shit,
Nope.
You were on that early.
Young T. Kosk.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait. Say it again.
Young T. Kosk.
Oh shit, dog, spell it now.
YVNGTKO money sign K.
Hell yeah, you had the money sign?
I had the money sign.
Oh, that's so lit.
Yeah, and I was rolling with that.
Yo, I'm calling you Young T Kosk from now on,
I
dog.
was rolling with that for a
Young T Kosk. Yo, shouts out to Young T Kosk. That's lit. Have we never talked about that?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't know if I've asked you that before. That's so lit. We got that out here.
I switched it to Kosk.
Play some Young T Kosk. Yo, Fiji is lost media,
Listen,
so we can't.
If you can find Young T. Kosk, you might be able to.
You might can find Fiji?
Maybe on YouTube there might be a couple, but if you can find some Young T. Kosk, go find yourself some Young T. Kosk. But I don't think I can find it.
What's the name of the music video we shot that day together when I shot Paranoia? Something Summer, right?
Empty Summer.
Empty Summer.
I
was gonna say Endless
dog.
Summer. Is that T Kosk era shit? That's Kasuke era shit for sure.
T Kosk was like the first 4 songs, and then I was like, "This shit's not gonna age well."
I gotta
I
get
switched it.
Killed T Kosk.
I knew. I was like, "This shit."
Fucking rest in peace, T
The
Kosk.
V and the Young. It's
T Cox. Shout out Young T Cox. Shut up, Joe.
Yeah, that shit was
that shit's hard.
I knew it wasn't gonna age well, so I had to dip.
It does sound like T Cox too.
It's bad.
You're gonna get clowned on almost immediately with that name. Oh fuck. See, it's happening here. So we had known each other before we filmed that video that day. But like that was like when we
that was the first time hanging though.
Like I knew your sisters a little bit and like knew your brother for sure because he dated fucking Haley and shit. Yeah. And like I remember seeing pictures of you as a little kid and shit. And like I think you were around before. Yeah. Like I just remember little Kasuke running around and shit. Like your face looked familiar. But like you hit up the homie Michael. And I think we were maybe in contact. I'm not even sure how much
I think I got the video.
You hit me up.
Yeah. Because this is what happened. Let me.
Man, my memory is so bad. I was an alcoholic back in these days, so this is almost just as good for me to learn this stuff.
My senior year, I had a senior project, and that shit was to make an album, and so we needed a mentor. Straight up.
That's right. I was your mentor.
Needed a mentor, and I was at the time.
Wow, I was such an alcoholic. I was a bad mentor.
At the time, I had been listening to some like local Vermont rap when I was like making my shit because I was like, you know, I might as well, if I'm gonna be in the scene, I might as well learn who's in the scene. And out of all those people, Humble Among was the one who I straight up.
Man, I forgot about that,
I was like,
dog.
dude, this dude's cool. Like this dude's not doing the same shit that all these other dudes are doing, and he's different. So I hit you up, and
that was like, around the time I was starting to like do stuff again because I had taken a very long, depressing, alcoholic break. But like I was trying to fight out of that fucking depression. So that was like when I was starting to reemerge a little bit, even still in my alcoholic haze.
I was like, bro, you should be my mentor for my senior project. I was like, I like your rap.
Man, that's just.
We talked about wrestling. I was like, damn, this dude likes wrestling. I was a youngin', and I was like, dude, this dude's dope.
What, you were 16, 17 when we first linked?
I was already, like, pretty much living on my own. I was out there. I was doing shit.
So we went and we filmed at this abandoned fucking building, me, you, Michael, that day. I filmed on the roof. You filmed in an abandoned-ass room. I think we filmed outside. I remember you busted your ass trying to jump off of a gimmick, and we were all worried that you hurt yourself for a second.
I took a bump.
Took a hella bump that day. But yeah, that was like the first time that like me, you, and Michael had all like chilled, and I think there was a good vibe. You know, Michael always had a good vibe when we were working with Michael when he was still out here and shit. But Michael, like, I mean, Michael still has a good vibe and shit,
Yeah.
but that was like a good way to set it off, and I feel like that was really the groundwork for like a lot of stuff that
it was like two
going
older brothers,
forward.
for real. Because I remember when I left too, Michael was like, "You better get home safe, because we're your brothers now." And I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
Yeah, that was a good day. I always think about that day, man. That was definitely like, but then like Michael moved away, and
Yeah.
like we filmed a couple music videos together. I remember that day.
OG Killa.
Yeah,
I filmed.
yeah, you
That was
filmed
pretty
OG
early.
Killa with me.
Yeah.
That's right. And fucking like, we went that one winter day
Yeah.
when I was filming. What song was that with you with the
Oh,
knife
God.
and shit?
Oh,
Fuck,
God.
what song? You look like such a baby in that
Off
one
Me.
too.
It was
Oh
off me.
man, yeah. Look up Off Me. It's still on my
Oh,
YouTube, I
God.
think. He's such a baby in those
bad.
videos. Is Empty Summer still up too?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go look up some of these music videos. Empty Summer is on
I was
Vigo Harris's YouTube.
y'all are gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah, Paranoia is still up there
Yeah.
too. You can see fat alcoholic Humble Among, looking mad bloated in his fucking Tommy Hilfiger fucking trench coat, thinking he looks cool. Yeah, go watch that shit. Some early cringy ass fucking material. But yeah, let's see. What was your first memory of me? Was like, how did you come to find out about me in the scene or whatever?
Bro,
And then I'm gonna backtrack to your first rap show.
The first song, I won't bring up too much of what it was, but the first song.
Oh,
I
the
heard of
diss
yours
song,
was a
right?
Diss track,
Yeah,
bro.
to those little bitch boys.
Yeah, and to me, I was like, this shit's dope, because I heard the backstory. I don't know. Where
And the
I heard it.
420
I
cipher too.
think, yeah, that too. And
I think it was like those.
I heard the backstory of the whole situation.
Shouts
and
out Danny Doozy.
Why the diss track happened, and I was like, damn, like this is sick. Humble
Yeah.
Among's going crazy.
Basically, I dissed some Nazi punks
Yeah.
that were trying to front as rappers, and we did the
And-
whole diss song, and it was a thing at the time.
But shout out.
Let's see. I want to talk about Spanky Pain though, because all that stuff's related to Spanky Pain and like the
Yeah.
local punk rock scene a little bit.
Yeah.
Spanky used to do these
at the
rap
Park,
shows
too.
and Punk at the Park.
Yeah.
He used to do these rap shows at his house though. And I think that was your first show.
That was my first show.
I
Shout out
filmed-
Spanky Pain,
I
bro.
filmed this motherfucker's first show, and
Yeah.
I think I still got that file somewhere, dog.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I still
It's
got
on
that.
YouTube.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's up.
Oh
on YouTube.
fuck! Did Spanky film it?
It's up.
Spanky's is that Spanky's
I
version?
think, yeah, you can find it. It's
Yo,
up.
so that yeah, his first performance is up on YouTube, and dude killed it. Yeah, I was too drunk to perform that day. I remember I was definitely like not even in good performing shape and shit. But yeah, man, like so we've been like, I mean, I've seen you grow up, like literally, like I've seen you grow up into the man that you are. And like so we started working more, like you started making beats on your own more around this time.
Yep.
Really developing your sound.
I went to audio video class school at the tech center. I went to the class there for like 3 years, and that's where I really got good. Shout out to Seamus Martin. I don't know if he'll watch this, but big shout out to Seamus Martin, because
Shouts out to the Tech Center program too,
Wasn't
because
for
I
that,
went
man.
for that shit too.
Yeah, straight up. If it wasn't for that man, I probably wouldn't have learned. He taught me a lot of like shit about just the basics of like making beats and how to actually make your beats, like the structures and just shit you need to actually have a beat sound like a fucking song. And that shit pretty much is the only reason that I learned how to do all this shit. So I started making beats. I really fucked with like, funk and the 3-6 Mafia, Suicide Boys kind of sound, that fucking old SoundCloud kind of shit. So that's really what I started doing. And ever since then, my shit's just progressed from like me tweaking that into some sort of weird like metal, funk, cyber, I don't know. It's weird. But
Synthy.
yeah, synthy, fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, Kasuke did the whole Sign of the Times record, if you didn't know, which does really flex his different sonics that he can go through. There is a little metal, a lot of weird synthy shit though. I feel like we focused a lot on like
Yeah.
weird synthy shit on that project.
I did do the Otherworldly, yeah.
Let's see. Funk definitely started to get more into the mix, and like I don't know if it's the first beat I rapped over that you sent me, but it might be. Is Strictly Wicked the first one?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's the first beat. It's not the first beat you sent me, but it's the first one that I like rapped and made a
Yeah.
whole song to. And I still open
That
my
shit's
shows.
legendary.
I still open my
That's one
shows
of
with
the-
Strictly
that's
Wicked.
still a legendary Humble Among track.
It's one of my favorite songs to perform. I love performing that song. That shit came out so easy too. It was like
Yeah.
That was one of the easiest songs to write. I think I wrote most of that in the same day.
And I remember when you first sent me that back, and I heard you rapping on one of my beats, I was like, this shit.
So that's the beginning. That's the beginning of Kasuke producing for me, for sure. We did a couple more beats on that project. Cop Killers, I think, is a U beat, right?
Yeah, Cop Killers.
And I think there's another one. On that project. I'd have to go. I think you did 3 beats on that one.
Yeah.
Boy, that's Halloween Tape 3.
I did one of the metal-y tracks
or
on there.
4.
I can't remember which one it was, but I did one of the.
I can't even remember my own shit. I think that's 3. It might be 4 though.
The one with all the like metal shit. I did a couple tracks on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so we start working together. I get him on some songs rapping with me on Wonderland, on Fear of a Whack Planet.
That was the early shit.
I think
pretty poop. I was poopy.
No, you were still fucking tight even then. I rapped on a song. I think the first one I rapped on yours was Burn Cruise.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one we did on your shit. That by the way is an interesting song because I don't know if you remember this. That's the first verse I ever wrote or rapped.
Oh yeah.
Sober.
Yeah.
That song is the first one I ever wrote and rapped 100% because that was a weird time period because I was going and finishing a lot of songs that I started while being an alcoholic, and then I was forced to listen to them sober and like reevaluate a lot of shit like in a weird, like the quality and the lyrics and a lot like the content, and man, I was slurring on this one. Anyway, we're getting too much into me, but that was literally the first. That was the first one. So yeah, we really got into some of the funk shit. Around this time, I pitch an idea to you for a project that would end up being the original version of Sign of the Times.
Yeah.
Which we had a different title for it back then. It was actually supposed to come out fucking 2021, 2022, right at the gathering.
It was old school. It was some early blueprints.
It was Juggalo funk, basically, is what it was.
That's what it was called.
Homies is actually a beat from 2021.
Yeah. Very early.
Straight up, that's how old that beat is. The same beat. I don't even think you tweaked it. It's the same file. It's the same beat you sent me in 2021. But we kind of had to pivot away from that, and I'm glad we did because it made Sign of the Times what it is. I want to talk about making that record, how we kind of just like hunkered down and we're like, okay, earlier this year, we're just like, okay, we really got to just like, I got to get something out before the gathering. Frankie told me I need to go put something out before the gathering. Let's hunker down and really do this. So that's what we did in the early part of this year. We were like just quietly working hard on this record, Kasuke making beats and sending to me really reworking them to try to make them into something
it was
that I felt told the same story and felt like it was all part of something.
That one day that I kind of just pulled up with like 7 beats.
Yeah, a large chunk of it, like Dirt in the Corner, or Otherworldly. Fuck. Maybe Vietnam. No, Vietnam was was later on. There was a couple. There was like 4 though, I think, in that. Maybe 4 or 5 in that early pack.
Vietnam was originally a beat me and Odie were gonna do for Do the Death.
Yeah, for Do the Death.
I heard that shit, and I don't know, something in me when I heard it, I was like, this sounds like something Humble Among would like kill. But I was like, Odious needs to be on this shit too, though. So I literally sent it to him, and I was like, use this, but throw Odious on that bitch too.
Which is definitely what I had. I'm so glad that we got Odious on there. The Odious Trios project I'm really excited for us to do that shit, man.
That will be coming.
I just saw someone in the chat made me realize I kind of brushed over a little bit of part of the era of the come up. It was really like when we started doing those shows together and doing those back and forth sets.
That's true.
That's really like a big part of this story. I'm glad someone in the chat just kind of reminded me of that. We did these shows where we would be booked together on these shows, and because we wanted to rap together, we'd combine our sets a lot.
Yeah.
So we'd do a thing where it would literally be like a me song, a Kasuke song, a me song, a Kasuke song, 2 Kasuke songs, 2 me songs, and we kind of just mix it up like that.
And whatever bounced off of like the last
crowd
song.
Yeah, we figure out weird ways that the songs would communicate with each other. And that was a really a big part of building, I think, both of our live performances into what they currently are. That's for sure. But yeah, Sign of the Times, we were working hard on that. Thank you, obviously, for everything that you provided with that record. You're just as big just as big of a part of that record as I am. You know what I
that.
mean? I want to talk a little bit about some of the secret meaning on that record because I haven't talked much about it. I don't want to say too much, but I know I've teased a couple of times how like the 3 last songs on the record are telling, like, I mean, the whole record's telling a story. And I sat Kasuke down and like cut up like half-hour long promo.
It was fire.
Probably on him of like the story of the record and the lore and like how this fits into that lore and the fucking. But specifically, I want to talk about the last 3 songs on the record. That being "Sign of the Times," into "Frozen Hell," into "Homies." I want to just talk about how like what I'm doing with those 3 songs. So basically, with "Sign of the Times," that's like the title track, right? That's the song that I'm really laying out for you what I'm doing on the project. It's almost the end of the album, but that's the title track where I'm laying it out for you, and I'm presenting you with 2 options on "Sign of the Times." That's the moment where I'm presenting you with 2 ways that you can go, the planet can go. This is a metaphor of 2 different routes you can go. And that's the next 2 songs. And it's definitely a reference to hell and heaven, Hell's Pit and Shangri-La, whatever you want to call it, where Frozen Hell is at my absolute nightmare. Frozen Hell is literally me writing a fucking rap song about my worst nightmares. And that's these nightmares I have of nuclear explosions going off and it fucking like the aftermath of that shit. And it's literally the visuals I have in my nightmares I tried to make into a rap song. So that for me represents hell on earth, hell on this planet, the really dark path that this planet could take. In the last song, I present you with a better option. Like I say on Vietnam, there must be a better way. Yeah. The song before, I'm already setting that up. Even before that, there must be a better way, and that's what "Homies" is. And if you listen to "Homies," the first verse, I'm still reluctant. I'm still saying there is no friends or family. I'm still saying there are demons. There's demons in that verse still, if you listen. But then by that second verse, what's up, Acetone? Thank you for tuning in, dog. Whoop whoop. By that second verse, I've embraced it. I've embraced this culture. I've embraced this family that I've built. This community that has gathered around us. And that's like the heaven, if you will. And if you even listen to that beat, to me, that beat is like angels plucking a harp. If you listen to that beat, there's this really soft, to me it sounds like a harp. I don't know what you sampled for that, but to me that sounds like a harp being plucked. So that's the concept of the album. I'm presenting you with Hell's Pit or Shangri-La. I'm presenting you with 2 different directions you can go in life. This planet can go whatever. But that's the most I've ever explained the record or some of the stuff behind the record.
And it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
Do your research.
The beginning of the record is on some other shit.
Yeah, but
you gotta pay attention to the whole alien lore beginning part. Because it goes deep. The Vietnam stuff ties in. All of it ties in. I'll sit down and explain it sometime, but this is not really the stream to fully explain that. I just wanted to get that out. And I wanted to explain the July 4th drop a little bit. Because the July 4th has almost a weird quadruple meaning. Obviously, being Independence Day, the fact that there are explosions on Independence Day, the bomb dropping, if you will. I say even on Frozen Hell, should I drop this in July or wait till December? That was a very coded thing because at the time of making Frozen Hell, I had an idea of maybe saving that for a winter drop because of the frozen hell of it all. But I'm like, no, I think this has to go on the record. So I wrapped that in Frozen Hell. Anyway. But also July 4th was a very dark time for you a few years ago. We'll talk about it briefly. I don't want it to get too sad or somber, but I really felt like we had to bring it up. I'll just let you take it from here, bro, because I don't really know how to bring it up other than that.
Well, essentially, I don't even really know how long ago it is at this point.
3 years, 4 years?
3, 4, because my mind has just kind of blocked it out at this point. But so, shout out to Odious. He was there when the shit all went down, but I got a call, essentially, that both of my parents had passed. I was like 19 years old, July 3rd, and that's like a day before 4th of July, which is like their favorite holiday type shit. But I got some old projects, the Astral being one of them. If you really want to do some research and hear like the deep shit, that's where you want to go, because I really poured my fucking that whole era went
It's
right
pretty
into
much
there.
about that.
I mean, the Astral, to get like real into it, like it started off, I was making that shit kind of towards before they died, when I was going through some falling out shit with them, and they like passed while I was making the shit. So halfway through, it was originally going to be like a project about the Astral being this place where I block all the bullshit out, but then it became like a project about me escaping there after their death, because I had to like, I don't know, it was hard, because you're making music about being so spiteful, and then you lose them, and you have to like switch the whole shit. It's crazy. But
And when's your birthday, man?
June 30th. So yeah, it was like, I got to talk to my mom like a couple days before my birthday, which is crazy, because before that we kind of had like a little falling out over some stupid shit. At this point, it doesn't even fucking matter. But so I wasn't talking to her for a little bit, and for some reason before my birthday I just decided like I gotta go see her, see what's up. And like my dad wasn't doing good type shit, and yeah, and then a couple days later they passed away. But I was glad I saw them. She like gave me this little fucking sloth thing. It was very weird. Like, if you want to talk about my paranormal experience, that's probably it, because she like, it felt very foreshadowing in a way, because like she gave me this sloth thing where like the light, or the sun, like it's a solar sloth fucking eye light thing. Excuse me. But
You're good, bro.
yeah, the fucking, she told me straight up like the light will always shine through the fucking solar sloth fucking eyes, and she loves sloths, so that shit was just fucking wild. And it just felt very like almost she knew type shit. And I, on some crazy shit, I still don't even really know how they passed. Like, they had a history with, you know, substance and whatnot, but
And that was where everybody jumped immediately.
yeah, everybody jumped right on that shit. Like, there was news articles,
this whole like scandal in the town and people talking shit. That was a whole thing.
On some real crazy shit, like,
fuck those people.
Like,
still fuck those people.
known drug, whatever. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was in the fucking Reformer. Like, fuck you, fucking piece of shit, rag.
We got their fucking autopsy results and shit, and there wasn't anything even like fucking crazy. Not to be spewing my family's business, but like, there wasn't even anything crazy. So like, I don't know, all the crazy shit about them dying on drugs or whatever is like not true at the end of the day. So it was just crazy to see everybody like on fucking social media in our area jump into that conclusion when they didn't even fucking know what happened. And I still don't even really know what happened. I have my theories. Like, my dad, you know, he was a fucking heavy drinker, so he had some liver problems, so that probably heavily contributed. But, you know, still don't really know the true answer, and the police didn't really look too much into it, so we'll never know.
Yeah, it's a mystery, but it's also like, I mean, it was a weird time for you, bro, because you were like, what, you turned 21?
That was before I was 21.
Was that when you turned 20 then?
Also, sorry for talking so quiet, y'all. I saw you say turn me up, but that was an emotional moment.
Yeah,
so.
sorry.
You're
the
good.
mic is just on the computer, so. So that was, I think you must have turned 20. I could have sworn that was when you turned 21, but that must have been the...
No, I think it was
maybe
like
it was
the year
19.
before I turned 20.
Shit,
I think
maybe it was 19.
Yeah, I was 19 when they passed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, man, fuck.
So,
But you have a very strong sister who really kind of took over the matriarch part of your life. Yeah, man. I'm obviously, I don't have to tell you this. I'm sorry you went through that. We've obviously had this conversation before, but yeah, man. So yeah, Kasuke's, you know, I obviously relate too with losing my mom at a young age and shit, and going through some of the stuff with my dad right now. Like, I definitely relate with some of that stuff. And I feel like it bonded us.
Yeah.
Probably in a weird way.
It was a strange time. It was definitely a strange time. My mind still blocks out like a lot of that fucking era, because it just like, I don't even know. Like, me and my sister were talking about it recently, and I just like, she was bringing shit up that like I didn't even fucking remember, because it was just wild.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know.
You block that kind of stuff out sometimes, man. All right, let's get on to some lighter stuff. I did feel like we had to tell that story for people to understand. where you're
It is
coming from a
definitely
little
a
bit.
big part of the music for sure. Because if you go back and listen to those old
You'll
projects,
hear references to it.
I'm telling you, if you start at like my first shit, Existential Nightmare, and if you really want to do a Kasuke deep dive, and you just listen to the lyrics, you'll fucking hear it. Like it goes from like me just being a youngin' dealing with some crazy shit to like that moment, and you'll hear it. And then I feel like after that moment though, I really like went crazy on the music shit because that's all I had. That was my therapy. I was like, this is what I got to do.
And you really put a lot of it in your music.
Yeah.
You can really hear, and that's why he's saying to go listen to it, because a lot of it's in his music.
To this day, on some crazy shit, to this day, on my SoundCloud, my mom's account still has the most plays on my SoundCloud. She ran that shit up. She loved that shit.
Boy.
And she always used to say, and it's a bar. I said it in a bar. She always used to say, "Oh, you're gonna take me to the Grammys one day."
And that's in it's in the music. And if you go find that first show, your mom and your sister are repping probably the hardest.
Yeah.
They're repping probably the hardest for you in that first Spanky Pain show, because I remember she was there for that shit.
And then that first time we opened for Ouija was like fresh after that, straight up.
Did she pull up to that?
No, she didn't. That was after she passed.
After she passed?
That was like fresh after she passed, because I made that song.
So that was Lethal Weekend? We did that?
And that was the song that I performed. That was the song I fucking performed.
Yeah, that's right. The one we shot the music video for, and back your sister's old house.
Not my old house that I grew up in. Oh, well, that too.
Yeah, we did a little bit out there too. Yeah.
This fucking old house.
Man. So let's talk a little bit about developing your style, because in that time period you went crazy with the music. You did a lot of experimenting. There's whole projects of you basically singing.
Yeah.
There's whole projects of you just experimenting like with weird shit. Yeah. There's definitely different sounds on a lot of your projects, and I think you really are starting to dial it down.
Yeah.
To what your sound is, and it's a more consistent thing these days.
Yeah.
Terry Funk, I think, is still at the tail end of an era of playing around with different sounds.
But I feel like that's the base. I feel like if Terry Funk is like...
It's the funk basement of a lot of the weirdness that you built on top of the funk basement.
Yeah.
Terry Funk is like... a fan favorite, I would say. Definitely the song, and I mean, check out the project. The project's hard as fuck.
Shout out to Odious, he produced that shit, and it still gets played at every show we do. It's like my opening go-to.
And the bourbon tapes, I feel like, are heavily underrated. I think you need to like we were saying, drop the bourbon tapes.
Yeah,
I think you need to re-drop the bourbon tapes as a deluxe.
A full fucking project.
I think you do, to make it like more of a listenable experience. Yeah. Definitely, because Terrifier, I forgot Terrifier was on that shit. I told you.
I performed that shit if you started at the Gathering. That was that crazy fucking funky, slowed down, chopped up beat.
Yeah, Terrifier is lit. I love that song. Anyway, I feel like Terry Funk lays a lot of groundwork for your next project, which is going to be Ultra Violence.
Yeah.
That's definitely the... I think it started as an EP, but it's growing.
Like a Terry Funk 2. Almost.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
That's how I look at it. It's almost like a Terry Funk 2. There's a lot of funk shit on there.
A lot of wrestling-based songs.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling-based shit. It's almost like... Because, like, for a while there, I was almost like, I might remix... Because I go back and I listen to it, and it's just not mixed the way I want and whatnot. It still goes crazy. And, like, almost, in a way, I'm glad I never did remaster it, because I kind of like the way it kind of sounds like an old school fucking, like, Memphis tape in a way, because it's just mixed, like, shitty. And that's just how it was. But I didn't really know as much as I do now at that point. But now I kind of wanted to go back to that sound, because a lot of the people that, like, started fucking with my music really like that sound. So I was like, okay, I can do that better now. I can clean that up and make that sound way better. So now I'm kind of back on my crazy spit and shit. But I switch it up all the time, because I always wanted to do like some crazy auto-tune trap Chief Keef shit, but I just didn't have the means. I didn't have no auto-tune when I first was recording. I was recording on my Android phone, so there's no auto-tune in that bitch. But once I got my hands on some auto-tune, I was like, I am gonna fucking drop some auto-tune tracks. And that's what I did. And
he still does.
And I still do.
Crash Out being probably your newest single that's auto-tuned the fuck out, I think, right? MP'd with another $20 super chat. Much clown love. Thank you, dog. Appreciate that, MP'd 23. All right. I want to talk about you meeting Odie. We've talked about Odie a couple of times. You met Odie on Call of Duty?
Nope.
Is that not the story?
Maybe it was Call of Duty. Technically, I met Odious through another homie I got named Artie, kind of. But
Odie, was it you that told me you met him through Call of Duty? I think I asked him this question.
I guess that was probably the first game we played. But like no, we met on like just kind of some internet shit. Not even really like playing games. But
because I asked him and he said that not to throw. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but
you're good.
He said that first you guys did not like each other.
We didn't. No,
yeah.
I did not.
Can I ask you a little bit about that? Your perspective of it?
He was just like, I don't know. At the time, I'm not gonna try to throw Odious under the bus, but at the time, like he just had this picture on Facebook of him with like a Superman hat on, and like fucking Jordans, and I was just fucking like, look at this dude, and then. But he's really dope. And then
Odious is the shit.
I love Odious. And then I ended up like.
I gotta play. I can't wait for you to hear his interview because I asked him. I think a very similar question. I think you're gonna laugh at his perspective on that. But yeah, y'all linked. Y'all started making music, shit, early on. Y'all have been friends for a while, right?
Yeah.
When did you first meet Odie? When did you first meet him and hate him? I guess I should ask.
It was a really long time ago. It was back when like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was out. So whatever time that was, like 2012 maybe. I was young. We were both very young.
So that's a minute ago.
Yeah.
When did you guys start making music together? Did you guys start making music around the same time?
Kind of. And this, because me and Odie had our periods of time where we would beef. Like we would like like each other, and then like I don't know, some dumb shit would happen and we'd be like, fuck you, bro, and we wouldn't like each other. And like this is when we were going through our like Chicago drill rap phase. So I don't know, he made some crazy music by himself at first, and I was kind of doing my own thing. I made Fuji. That shit sucked. He clowned on me for it. I literally remember him like messaging me and being like, yo, this shit's fucking trash, like you're bad. And then,
Odie said, nah, chill.
Nah. I'm not exposing too much. It was funny. But he didn't like Fuji. I don't like Fuji now, and he had some early tracks, but his went way harder than mine at first. I'm gonna give it to him. When he first started making music, I feel like he was like way more in the shit, and we were making shit with some other homies, and like he lived with this one of our other homies, shout out Lean. They were making music together, and they were doing some crazy shit, but I was like kind of not doing crazy shit. I was literally recording music off of my TV and fucking spitting into some Android mics. But then eventually me and Odious like fucking squashed our stupid beef. It was always over like stupid ass shit too, like Xbox, like literally fucking a video game. We'd like beef on Call of Duty and hate each other.
I was lying. Fuji goes hard, he says. Shouts out to positive vibes to 13 Emily. She said she lost dad, my sister's husband, just her dog passed away. It's positive, and her ex passed away too some years back. My condolences and positive vibes out to you. Let's see. Hey, shouts out to Dark Link. I think that's Dark Link. Dark 87. All right. We can tease.
To them, for real.
Yeah, big shouts out to Odious though too.
But
much love to Odious.
We squashed the beef. We started making some fucking music. And that shit went hard, and
That's Do the Death.
Yeah.
Do the Death is currently what the Odious and Kasuke collab.
I mean, Odious has been on like literally all of my projects. I'm pretty sure.
Do the Death's been a thing before it was Do the Death.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've been making music for a while, and yeah, Do the Death. We will drop a fucking me and Odious collab album here soon. There's already a 3-song EP out there under Do the Death on all streaming, and you should check that shit out because it goes hard. But
go check out Odious's solo music too, because his shit goes fucking crazy.
And he produces a lot of shit too, and he produced a lot of my shit. Like a lot of my hardest songs were produced by him. So
and expect to hear more Odious on our projects for sure, because we're doing something we're loosely calling right now the Trios Project. Then there's me and you. We're finally gonna do me and you rapping on a project. There's this idea for the otherworldly that we're floating around right now a little bit that we're going to be trying to do. So expect a lot of new music coming out of
and I'm producing
this
some
camp.
shit. I'll put it that way. I've been fucking in the studio.
Yeah, there's
some
some
crazy producing.
Look for some cool production collaborations and placements.
And much love to everybody who wants to fucking work. Because at the end of the day, I just want to make some crazy ass art, and we're gonna fucking. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the wicked shit fucking going.
So you just went to your first gathering. Do you remember, we're going to get into that a little bit. Do you remember your first time, how you heard about ICP and or the Juggalos? And can you talk about the bad example, the rotten apple?
Yeah,
that
I
gave
will.
you a really bad
I will.
perception of
I will.
Juggalos for a while, because I know it comes up all the time when we talk
So,
about this shit, and I want them to understand.
My like first introduction to ICP, straight up, was I used to watch this backyard wrestling show on YouTube called ESW, Extreme Showdown Wrestling. And it was these kids in Texas, and they were using light tubes on each other, and they were going crazy. And they would come out to ICP and like Tech 9 and like Hollywood Undead and all that shit. And that's what really put me onto Tech 9, because Tech 9 was like one of my first fucking like OG rappers that I liked. And that's what put me on. And I didn't fucking have no hate for any of it until I stumbled upon this kid in my school. And
ESW is goated, yo. I forgot about that shit.
yeah, we used to
Odia
watch
said.
that shit, and they would come out. And actually, let me put a big shout out, rest in peace, to fucking Wicked J. He was this Juggalo rapper that would come out. Probably my first example of like a real ass Juggalo. He would come out. He had the face painted. He'd come out to some ICP shit. He was drinking Fagos. He like kind of looked like Jeff Hardy. He kind of wrestled like Jeff Hardy. He had like some jean codes. He had swag, but he like passed away. And like that shit's they're still doing shows, but they had a like rival promotion that they ran a storyline with called JCW, or no, sorry, ICW, which was Insane Clown Wrestling.
Yeah, this is what you were talking about this just recently.
And
That's
they
right.
had like beef, and then went to war and shit. So that was like my real first experience with Juggalos, and that shit was sick as fuck.
And I that was the first time when you told me about that the other day or the other week or whatever. That was the first time I heard about any of that shit.
Yeah, and that shit's dope as fuck. So if you ever want to go and watch some like weird, obscure backyard wrestling shit, go look up ESW and look at their old shit. Their new shit isn't like as crazy, no offense, but like their old shit, they were literally like they're like 17 years old, just like hitting each other with light tubes. Like
Holy
it's insane.
Shit.
And they had like full stories and everything. But then I went to school, and there was this kid who was like a Juggalo. Not really. I'll get to that. But yeah, he always said he was a Juggalo. He like went to ICP shows in like Massachusetts and shit. But he was like flying rebel flags, and he was like on some crazy like racist
saying bigoted shit.
Yeah, crazy racist homophobic shit.
Like he repped Juggalo, but he weren't really about
so he was
being
on
a Juggalo.
he was on some Juff shit essentially. And there wasn't really many other Juggalos in the school to really check him, I feel like. So
he was probably
kinda
the Juggalo in the school.
He was the Juggalo in the school. So he was putting out a bad rep, because at the time I was like, dude, like if this is what it's about, then I don't fuck with that. But it really wasn't until Humble Among like put me on to, and I always like through wrestling and shit too. Like I knew ICP was doing like wrestling shit. I knew the backyard wrestling game I used to fuck with. So I like respected them because of that. But once I met you, you put me on to really how fresh ICP actually is.
Because I was the Juggalo in the school like 10 years before that. Like I was the Juggalo. Like because there there's like 2,000 people in this fucking village of a town gimmick, whatever you want to call it.
And it's a lot of old people.
A lot of old people. There's what, maybe 100 people in a graduating class every year. Probably less than that. It's a very small town. So, like, yeah, there's not Juggalos like that. Now it seems like there's almost more Juggalos around. Like, there's Darla who lives in town who's a Jug. Shit, I think that douchebag maybe doesn't live in town anymore. I think he lives across the river now.
Seen him, yeah.
But yeah, there's not like a lot of Jugs out here like that. There's like Jugs in Keene and shit. Yeah. Like I ran into Jugs occasionally at Target and shit when we're out in Keene, but there's not a lot of Jugs out there.
I see a couple at my work sometime. There's a vendor at my work who I gotta fucking remind myself. I bought some Fago. I'm gonna bring him some because he always comes in and talks to me about Ouija Mac and shit, and how he's hella dope. So shout out to him.
Like they're around here, but they're not like, it's not like the Midwest where you might run into one every fucking day or something. Like it's kind of more rare
around here.
We got it in like a couple of spots, but it's cola. The cola and the twist and all that shit. So that was how you first. So you I changed your notion slowly because I think you were me showing you Ouija and the newer wave a little bit
because I knew of Ouija before.
Because you were definitely resistant with the clowns for a while, and we're gonna get with that.
I knew of Ouija beforehand because of Swag Tooth, and I knew of him pretty much through Suicide Boys. I knew of their collab, so I knew of Ouija.
Like you
And
had even
then-
heard his name, I think, before before I even brought him up to you.
Once he went to psychopathic, I kind of I didn't even know. Like I didn't even know any of that shit was happening. I kind of just like
That was
fell off
probably
of
me
listening to him,
me schooling you on that
and then
shit.
he told me, he was like, "Yo, you got to listen to Ouija Mac. Like he's kind of like Suicide Boys, but like on some
Jugged
like,
out.
jug shit." Yeah. And so I checked him out, and I was like, "This shit actually is pretty fucking fire." I'm pretty sure the first song he showed me was "Body Drop." That was like the first
Yeah,
one he put
that
me
sounds
onto.
about right.
And you were like, "This is the one that like they rage to at all
Yeah,
the shows."
this is
And I
the
was
one that
like-
makes body drops at the
So
show.
I listened to that shit, and I was like, "Damn, this shit is fucking crazy." Like, so that was like the first psychopathic Ouija I fucking heard, and yeah, and then he kind of put me on, and then once I went through there, I kind of listened to the ICP shit for a little bit.
I stayed trying to
He
put him
did.
on the shit.
And I
Like if he was
I
in the
always
car, I'd be
fucked
like,
with,
let's
like-
play a little ICP.
And I was never like fucking.
Yeah, you didn't hate
Yeah.
it, but it was like
It just wasn't clicking.
I think it took this gathering
But the production,
experience.
I think it was the production though. Like shout out to
Yeah, Great
Mikey
Malenko,
Clark.
'cause it
Shout
was
out to
Great
Mikey
Malenko
Clark,
that you were
because
like-
I was like, damn, this production is like fucking insane.
You
love this
texted
shit.
me after listening to Great Malenko,
Yeah.
and you were specifically citing the production
Yeah.
as being excellent on that. And that maybe is their best. I mean, Great Malenko and Jekyll Brothers are probably equally produced, but those probably are the best sounding production-wise
Yeah.
albums, just for like how everything fucking sounds overall. I mean, so yeah, tell me a little bit about your gathering experience, man. What did you think? Going in, what did
That
you?
shit was probably the best week of my life. I have to say, probably one of the best weeks of my life. I got to meet a lot of the people who are in the chat right now. Shout
In
out to
real
all
life?
you guys in real life. I got mad love out there. I got to do some shows for the homies. That was insane. And it was just like family shit. I literally pulled up. I fucking opened up my tent with the help of Whoop. Shout out to Whoop. And literally, like, it was like I was at a fucking family gathering. Like, I was, like, I was there. I was chilling. I literally met everybody. It felt like I knew them for 15 years. Like, me and Whoop were literally chilling the first night. Like we've been homies for 15 years. So it was dope as fuck. And EC Juggalo, obviously. I didn't fucking know who you were, even though you had the EC Juggalo hat on at first. But, like, yeah, y'all made me feel so welcome. And Taffy. And, like, I made memories.
Everybody, man.
Yeah.
The crew we got going on is so
That
fucking
Camp
great.
Pop Meet crew, literally, like, they took care of me. And I made memories that I cherish. And I will cherish them for the rest of my life. So,
And we somehow got Odious to pull up too.
Yeah.
Odious lives in Ohio, if you don't know.
and now he said he's going every year. So.
And I've been trying to get him to at least pull up to the parking lot
or
party.
Juggalo, Ohio.
Uh,
at the
Ju-
least.
Yeah, he's going to Juggalo, Ohio,
Yeah.
it seems.
Yeah.
It definitely seems he's going to Juggalo, Ohio, too. Or 3. Juggalo, Ohio 3 as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Odie in for only one day, but I think his mind was way blown the fuck
Yeah.
open by this culture. Because without throwing his bill, I'll talk to him when we do an Odie interview about it. But he definitely had probably stronger
Yeah.
preconceived notions
Yeah.
than you did. I think that's very safe to say.
Well, he had
I mean, I'll be honest. When I first met Odious, do you remember this?
Yeah.
I beefed with him a little bit
Really?
because of some of the shit he said on Facebook about
Yeah.
Juggalos. Because he definitely said some shit about Juggalos where I'm like, that ain't cool. I'm mad at Odious.
Nah, he definitely had some haters surrounding him though. He had some haters.
But now I love the dude. I love you, Odious.
He had some haters surrounding him that I think were encouraging him. So, you know, I think that played into it. But he just had to pull up, and that's what Whoop kept saying. He just had to pull up, and he pulled up, and
He saw it.
he saw it.
He saw it and he witnessed it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it took. And I think he was mind blown for a lot of that experience.
And not to throw him under the bus either, but he hit me up the other day. He goes, "This new Ouija's fire."
Yeah.
And
And we were struggling just
yeah. And I
a
was
week
like,
before the
I
gathering.
did not ever think I would get a message that said, "This new Ouija's fire."
But I think it shows like what the power of actually pulling up to these things are. And like you saw Ouija for you had seen Ouija before. We opened for Ouija that
Yeah.
one time, and I played a couple of shows opening for Ouija. But I think shit, we had even seen him maybe just as some fans another time
Yeah.
at something else,
Yeah.
perhaps. Anyway, but you'd seen Ouija a few times, but seeing him at the gathering hits
Yeah.
different. Seeing how big it is, seeing the people react to it, and seeing the clowns You had never seen the clowns
No.
before, so
I just saw. Actually, I don't even think I got to see Shaggy because he was the closer for that Ouija
yeah,
show.
and you guys left early.
We left like at the
And
beginning.
I left
of the
during
Ouija
Shaggy
show,
because
yeah.
it was like 2 a.m. and
Yeah,
we
it
still
was
had to drive an
crazy.
hour and a half home. But anyway, you got to see the Faygo fly, and I think the first night, the House of Horrors show.
Yeah.
We were on the hill. You got to see the spectacle, but I think it really clicked more when we went down for the Red
pit,
show.
Yeah.
When you were in the pit and you got to see it up close a little bit more
Yeah.
and hear it a little bit better, feel the bass in the ground.
I was in the vibes, yeah. Like I was in that shit. I felt like I was in the Dark Carnival at that moment, and then
Because you were, dog.
I hit the motherfucking stage, and that shit was like that was probably the
you got up
craziest,
on there for
10 minutes
Faygo
of my
Armageddon.
life. Yeah, that was probably
For just a little bit.
Yeah.
You got the fuck out of there after you saw a dude get slumped.
I did. I saw a dude like I don't even know. I don't know. He did not look well, and I was like, I was a little woo. So.
What's one memory from the gathering? If you could pick just one. Fuck it. Give me 2 memories. If you can take just 2 memories away from the gathering, like your favorite memories.
One of them, Taffy said in the chat, was when we were up very late, fucking rolling down hills in trash cans with Too Tough Tony. That was probably one of my favorite moments.
Late night antics.
And then the other one, honestly, has
Wish I was
to
there
be
for that.
Whoop Conda in the motherfucking wrestling show, just like fucking.
Yeah, Whoop at the
hitting his
wrestling
shit,
is
yeah.
pretty fucking goated,
That
man.
shit was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking goated. Shouts out to Whoop Conda. That's what I'm saying. Whoop Conda already is a JCW announcer. So I got a couple of questions related to the Gathering of the Juggalos. Are you down with the clown?
Yeah.
Are you a member of the loosely organized hybrid gang? Yes or no? This is the part where I shine a flashlight in your face, into your eyes to check if your pupils are dilated or not.
Yeah.
You are? Okay, fuck yeah. Are you a Juggalo? Ew.
If y'all accept me as one, I am one.
You're a Juggalo.
Because that's my one
I've been
thing.
telling you, dog, remember really early on.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? You're a Juggalo and you don't know it.
Well, my one thing is
I've been telling you that for so
I've
long.
been down to claim it. I just don't want to be like, because you know,
on some phony
shit.
shit.
Well, you see the no new ninja shit. You see the like no Juffs, no fucking. So I wanted to educate
and
myself
without
properly.
saying who, we know a couple of people who've tried to slide into the lane and
and I just
like literally on some like they saw us doing it, let's do that shit.
I didn't want to be one
like,
of those
corny
motherfuckers
shit.
who are like just doing it to like. I want to help the culture. I don't want to be one of the motherfuckers sucking shit out of
Sucking
it
off
just
the
to
culture.
fucking just to blow up and then like run away.
Blowing the culture.
Yeah. So I just wanted to at least do my research and like learn shit and actually know what I'm talking about before I just like claim it and be like, yeah, because I just don't want to be like a fucking fake. I don't want to be a fake motherfucker.
And I think, I definitely appreciate that. And I think you've, at this point, bro, I feel like you've earned the title of Juggalo.
Yeah.
I think you definitely have
everybody
earned
at work at this point, they call me it. They call me the Juggalo. They're like,
shit, when we go out and play any of these local shows, we're getting introduced as the
they've
Juggalo
been
rappers,
calling me
bro.
that since fucking,
It's so fucking corny. Anyway, I forgot to prep you for this question. I usually try to prep people. I'll give you some time to think about it. This is the final question, the very pretentious final question. If you could tell the whole world one thing, and you know they would hear it, what would that one thing be?
Stream Ultraviolence.
When it drops.
When it drops.
Stream the single Ultraviolence.
Stream Ultraviolent Freestyle.
Yeah, stream the single.
No, but for real, stream all my homies' music too, because if it wasn't for like Humble Among, if it wasn't for Odious, if it wasn't for straight up, if it wasn't for those two motherfuckers at the core of it, like I love everyone else who's helped me, but at the core of it, if it wasn't for those two motherfuckers, I probably wouldn't even be doing this shit right now. So stream their music too. Stream all of our music. Fucking
the trios.
Fucking
kayfabe.
Help us eat. Help us eat, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Help us eat, man. No,
if anyone in the chat, if you got any questions, let's run those. But I think we're gonna wrap this up here in a second. But yeah, anyone in the chat, if you got any more questions to wrap up, we'll do that.
No, but on some real
going
shit
crazy.
though, everyone just be nice to each other. That's really what I would tell the whole world. Like on some non-arrogant shit, just fucking be nice to each other. Accept everybody. Don't be a fucking asshole. Don't be a bigot. That's really my
yeah, I like that answer better. We're gonna go with that answer.
My final message at the end of the day is just fucking accept everyone and love everyone.
Who's your favorite NDN? Big Sizz. Big Sizz is my favorite. Oh, jeez. When's the Humble Kasuke Whoop track coming out? That's a good question, dog.
Whenever we're, let's fucking do it.
The topic is whatever you want to make it. This is the end of the interview, so yeah.
Go
if
back
you got any
and
questions,
watch that shit when it's done.
You've
Go
been listening
rewatch
to
it.
Carnival of Carnage, prepping for the super secret thing that's going on. What does that mean?
Yeah, I have been. I'm so ready for the super secret thing.
What's that mean? I don't even know what that means. What's a super secret thing? Am I forgetting something?
No, might just be trolling.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, I'm uncultured.
Oh shit!
Oh.
We got M in the place to be to
Bum,
end this shit.
Bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum.
She back.
Bum bum.
Oh, she looks miserable. Are you okay?
I fucking hate my goddamn life. I just
Oh.
spilled Fanta all over my face.
That gross Fanta? The gross one?
It's so gross.
She's got the gross. She claims is gross.
It's
What is
fucking
that?
disgusting.
This is the Beetlejuice
I thought
Fanta.
it was green apple. It's spiced green apple. So it's like cinnamon and shit.
It's haunted mound apple.
It's haunted, haunted apple. All right, I'm gonna try this.
disgusting.
Oh my God, yeah.
Does that shit
Oh, it's
taste
got
like-
a funk to it. What the
It
fuck?
tastes like maple syrup apple.
Oh, it's way too syrupy. Oh, whoa. Oh, it's not good.
That shit's got a young Terry funk to it.
Oh, it's got a funk to it. That's definitely got an aftertaste funk to it. Yeesh.
Well, I ran out of small ice cups, but
You're a
Ugh.
queen. Look at her. Look at her.
Oh shit.
You're the shit, baby.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God
We're just
damn.
wrapping this up. Look at how nice she is. She
Wow.
works a fucking like
I know.
16,
Still.
17 hour day and
You're a
comes
real
home
one.
with fucking
That's
snacks
legit.
for us and
I
shit.
got you a blueberry cobbler donut too.
Thank you, baby.
Blueberry cobbler.
Let's get some
Blueberry
food somewhere and hang
cobbler.
out.
I need a shower because my head smells like that stupid soda.
But on some real shit, y'all, much love to all of you. Thank you for pulling up and watching this shit and being like somewhat interested in hearing me talk about myself, because I don't think I'm an interesting guy a lot of the time, but
No, this is hella interesting. I'm glad we did this. So we've been talking about doing this for a fucking minute too. So I'm glad we finally did this. I think it was a good time.
yeah,
Well, I think it was good to wait after the gathering.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we waited
I got to
until
meet
now.
all y'all.
Yeah, so all y'all that like met Kasuke or saw him hanging out with us and shit, you can
Backstory.
see and get to know him a little bit more.
Young Terry Funk.
Taking
Bumps and funk.
All right, we're gonna get out of here though. I love you guys. Whoop next. Whoop, if you want to do an interview, we can totally do that.
Dude, that would be so sick.
Yeah,
I
we
feel like
should do
would be
that.
Awesome, please do
Next
that.
week, next Sunday is Backseat Boys, but I'll book you for an interview spot for sure, Whoop. That'd be
Please.
lit. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be fucking lit. God, I should have turned that on already. All right, love you guys. Whoop whoop.
Whoop,
Have a good
whoop.
night. Thank
I
you for
love you
tuning
all.
in. Make sure you hit the like gimmick, subscribe gimmick. Shouts to Emily for the free snacks. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye. Stuff coming.
A lot of stuff coming.
I think I might be streaming on Strange Suspicion tomorrow evening. So check out the Strange Suspicion YouTube tomorrow. I'm doing a artist spotlight thing. I can't remember if that's pre-recorded or streamed or not though. That might be a pre-record thing, so don't hold me to that actually. Never mind. It might come out tomorrow. You'll see. I'll post about it. I don't know. Follow me on Humble Among and all that shit, and I'll fucking post about it. Follow Kasuke the Reaper on all streaming
All social
gimmicks.
media.
Go stream Kasuke's music. Go stream Humble Among, Sign of the Times, produced by Kasuke. Yeah, man. Stuff coming, stuff and things. All right, I love you guys. Whoop whoop. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye. Love y'all.